like an incandescent wire. Glow for the female of this species. Turn on the AC and the DC. This night could use a little brightening. Light up your little old bug of lightning. When you gotta glow, you gotta glow. Glow, little glow and glow. On you are equipped with taillight neon. You got a cute vest pocket Mazda, which you can make both slow or faster. I don't know who you took a shine to, or who you're out to make a sign to. I got a gal that I love so. Glow, little glow and glow. Glow, little glow and glow. Glow, little glowworm, glow. I don't know who you took a shine to, or who you're out to make a sign to. I got a gal that I love so. Glow, little glowworm, glow. Glow, little glowworm, glow. Glow, little glowworm, glow.
To get to you, I've been down the dark side, saw the dark side of the moon. To get to you, to get to you. Look for love in every stranger, took too much to ease the anger off of you. Yeah, off of you. I've been running through the jungle, I've been crying with the wolves. To get to you, to get to you, oh, to get to you. Your fingertips trace my skin to places that I've never been. Blindly I'm following. Break down these walls and come on in. I wanna feel the way that we did that summer night. Drunk on a feeling, alone with the stars in the sky. I've been running through the jungle, I've been running with the wolves. To get to you, to get to you. I've been down the darkest alley, saw the dark side of the moon. To get to you, to get to you. Look for love in every stranger, took too much to ease the anger off of you. Yeah, off of you. I've been running through the jungle, I've been crying with the wolves. To get to you, to get to you.
You are listening to iGaming Radio, the first online radio dedicated exclusively to the B2B sector of the online gambling industry.
I've been running through the jungle, I've been running with the wolves. To get to you, to get to you. I've been down the darkest alley, saw the dark side of the moon. To get to you, to get to you. Look for love in every stranger, took too much to ease the anger off of you. Yeah, off of you. I've been running through the jungle, I've been crying with the wolves. To get to you, to get to you, oh, to get to you.
What's up, guys? This is Kurt, and that was Charisma Collins singing Wolves. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, it's on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. So links to that down below, along with all of Charisma's info, her social media links, her YouTube channel. So go check her out. Show her the love, guys. Right over there is another video, and as always, more stuff coming soon. So I will see you then. Peace.
you're beautiful, something so unusual.
In your eyes, I know I'm home.
Every tear, every fear, gone with the thought of you changing what I thought I knew.
I'll be yours for 1,000 lives. I'm free as a bird when I'm flying in your cage. I'm diving in deep and I'm riding with no brakes.
And I'm bleeding in love and you're swimming in my veins. You got me now.
Been waiting for a lifetime for ya. Been breaking for a lifetime for ya. Wasn't looking for love till I found ya. Oh, not yet for love till I found ya.
Skin to skin, breathe me in. Feeling your kiss on me, lips are made of ecstasy. I'll be yours for 1,000 nights. 1,000 nights.
I'm free as a bird when I'm flying in your cage. I'm diving in deep and I'm riding with no brakes.
And I'm bleeding in love and you're swimming in my veins. You got me now. iGaming Radio.
Been waiting for a lifetime for ya. Been breaking for a lifetime for ya. Wasn't looking for love till I found ya. Oh, not yet for love till I found ya. Been waiting for a lifetime for ya. Been breaking for a lifetime for ya. Wasn't looking for love till I found ya. Oh, not yet for love till I found ya.
Been waiting for a lifetime for ya. Been breaking for a lifetime for ya.
Wasn't looking for love till I found ya. Oh, not yet for love till I found ya.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, thinking I could never live without you by my side. I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. I grew strong, I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed my stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, Lord, walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with your bite? You think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I stay alive. I got all my life to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive. Hey, hey. Strength I had not to fall apart. Kept trying to find the missing pieces of my broken heart. And I spent so many nights feeling sorry for myself. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high and you see me, somebody new. I'm not that chained up little person still in love with you. And so you felt like dropping in, throwing me to be free. Now I'm saving up my loving for someone who's loving me. Go, now go, walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break it with your fire? I think I'd run, boy. You think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I've got all my life to live, I've got all my life to give, and I'll survive. Hey, 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 hey,
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Seems great. Hi, do you hear me well?
Yes, we do.
All good. Good morning.
Happy International Women's Day to everyone. And we have gathered here today to celebrate my name day. So you are all my guests today.
Happy name day, Zoltan.
I'm kidding. It's nice to see you all here. And today is a special occasion with this meetup since it got organized so quickly. We are really happy about the feedback and the attendance. So for all those joining us on YouTube, hello. And
Hi.
all those joining us here in Zoom, also hello. You can type your questions in the general chat. And I will just give the virtual microphone to Jovita to start the first session of the day. We will have 3 sessions today. Each one will have a special moderator guest. So without any further delay, Jovita, you have the word.
Okay, great. So hello to everyone. It does feel, like a little bit of fresh. So congratulations, first of all, to all of us on this Women's Day. Nice to meet you. Actually, I've checked everyone's profile and I'm really impressed by the things you are doing in your daily life. So hopefully you will tell the other people who doesn't know you what you are doing. But over here, I decided that this, that we should keep this discussion practical. So over here in this discussion, we are having a nice and impressive list of the ladies. So we have Amy Peck, who is the founder and CEO of the virtual reality and strategy consulting firm focused on augmented and virtual reality. So Amy, show where you are. Then we have, do we have Amy? 1 second. I want to make sure that we have, I think Amy is not with us.
Not yet, yes.
Not yet. So we don't have Amy. Okay. So then we have Aysun. So she is co-founder of Esports Women in Turkey.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aysun.
Then we have back Agnes. I can see you.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Agnes is an immense media researcher from Random Error Studio. By the way, I will let everyone to introduce themselves a little bit more broadly. So just, just very quickly, I'm just double checking who's on the list. And we have over here, Anna Maria Baciu. She's a managing partner from the law firm. Hi.
Hi.
And then we should have on the list Nadia, the director of sales at Relax Gaming, and she's from Malta. Do we have Nadia? It seems that not. But hopefully the 2 ladies that didn't manage to join over here will manage to join a little bit later. So I think to make this discussion, a bit more, so to say, a bit more relevant, I should start with an introduction of myself.
Jovita, first of all, I think, I don't know, I get this link, but I'm here, but it seems my name is not on the list.
Mine too. Yeah.
So tell your name now to everyone that
Sima Baktaş from Turkey, Crypto Woman Turkey.
Crypto Woman. So welcome. Well, I know your profile and know what you're doing in life. So hopefully everyone will get to know what you are doing. Sorry for the rush today, because I literally jumped.
Am I right place or not?
Well, you are always in the right place, because the discussion initially should have been that all the ladies at one time, but we decided to divide it into 3 panels just to make it more manageable. So if you are joining me over here, you're totally fine. You can stay. And if you decide later on to rejoin other panels as well, because
it's okay. I can be here, but just I was worried.
No, you are more than welcome. You are very welcome. So first of all, apologies for me, just rushing in, because I literally flew into the office, 2 minutes away, 2 minutes to this call. So I needed, some time to recharge myself. But now over here, I will start from short introduction of myself. So I'm a lawyer. Actually, I'm an attorney at law. I come from Lithuania, a Baltic state, which can now, say that we are very proud having an opportunity to say that on a Women's Day, that we have lots of women leadership over here in Lithuania. So we just recently, we had a president who was a woman for 2 cadences in a row. Now we have a prime minister who's a woman now, and the speaker of Lithuanian parliament is also a woman now. So I can, from the standpoint of the country, I can see that we do have lots of women leadership in various roles, and the times are, well, I cannot say they completely have changed, but the times are changing now. So I come from, and later on when you will make the introductions, I think it would be just very great if you shortly introduce yourself, the country you come from, and probably the business you represent, so that we would see the geography we are speaking of and the businesses we are speaking of. So here I'm a representative of women lawyer. I'm a representative of a small Baltic state, and I'm a representative, so to say, an age group, who's under 40. So basically, to get a sense of how we are discussing. And the aim of this discussion is to keep things practical. Because when I was inviting people to join, I said that, it's a nice way of celebration. But also I said that it should be a discussion that should give an opportunity to bring some tips to implement. So I hope my HR is listening. I hope that many people, who are deeply involved in practical implementation strategies will be listening to us. So if you do not mind, I will ask, Amy to introduce herself, the background, where does she come from, and later on we'll go to the discussion more deeply. Amy, you're not here still. No, Amy is not here. So then can we go to Anna? Oh, we have 2 Annas, I think.
Yeah.
So which one of you would like to start? I'll let you choose, Anna Maria or Anna.
Let's start with Anna, and then we'll go with Anna Maria.
Okay.
Okay, so my name is Anna. I work as a recruitment and employee engagement specialist at IT Labs in the office in North Macedonia. IT Labs is a software development company, and I'm very glad that I have a chance to be here with you today. And also, my background is a social worker, and I'm a women's activist. So basically, I was active in the field of gender-based violence, so fighting the gender-based violence, and working in a shelter center. So this topic is very, very familiar to me, and I'm very happy to share everything that I have learned in the past years.
Okay, so thank you. Nice to hear from you. And then can we switch to another Anna?
Hi, I'm Ana Maria Baciu. I'm a lawyer in Romania. I'm a managing partner of the firm called Simion & Baciu. It's a firm that I have created together with another lady lawyer, Cosmina Simion, 2 years ago. I'm a lawyer for 20 years. I'm 40 plus, now that you mentioned it and you started the discussion about the age. I'm a lawyer for 21 years actually. I'm active in mainly gambling and intellectual property. And we'll share a little bit more once we start about the topic itself. But I'm coming from a country which is, for you, Jovita, we are not suffering that much, but we do suffer a little bit because of the lack of diversity and inclusion.
From time to time, as they say.
From time to time or even more. I think it depends on the level, actually. That's the main distinction that we make. It's the corporate life that it's a little bit different than the social one. That's it.
Okay, thank you. And then should we jump to Bak Agnes? And sorry,
Yes.
sorry if I will say someone's name incorrectly. Do feel free, to correct me, because might hear that I'm pronouncing not the way you would love to.
No, it was perfect. Thank you very much. My name is Agnes Bak, and I'm originally from Romania, but for 10 years I live in Hungary, in Budapest. And I work as an immersive media researcher, more on the theoretical side. And I have several hats. One of the hats is that I'm a co-founder of the Random Error Studio, which is focusing on XR creations. And it's co-funded with the Code and Soda company. And I work there as a facilitator and dramaturg and theoretician. But my main job is that I'm a researcher at the Moholina University of Art and Design, where we are also focusing on immersive medias and what is called to be tailor-made media. And Hungary is not very good in diversity and inclusion. Like there was a joke that maybe there are more Zoltans in the parliament than women, but because today is Zoltan's name day, but I might confuse the name actually, but we still have a lot to do about that. Thank you.
Thank you. And then maybe we can jump to Aysun.
Hello, everyone. Again, yes, I am Aysun. I am from Istanbul, Turkey. My background is in marketing. I worked for marketing agencies and companies for about 20 years. And now we are established a Support Women Turkey organization to support women, to empower women's voice in this technology and gaming industry. Also, I am actively part in, I have an active part in Crypto Women Turkey with SEMA. We are increasing, yes, our purposes is increasing the women's voice in technology, increasing the women's technology literacy in these sectors, in gaming, in fintech, in crypto, to cooperate with relevant organizations and contribute to the gender equality priority, especially. We are organizing educations, meetups, and especially for the women, and supporting and mentoring women's students in this field. Yes, our country also has some issues. Our women also facing with difficulties with this diversity and inclusion and some equality problems. Yes, we have also, like for others, like for you, lack of women representation in parliament, in state of also. Yeah, I can't wait to hear from you, your experience. I believe that I learned many things today with you. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you a lot. Oh, I see Nadia has joined us. So hello, Nadia. We are glad to have you here. So maybe just, we are making introductions, by the way, so maybe we'll ask Sima Baktas to introduce herself then, until you get your breath, Nadia.
Thank you. I think Zoltan, you want to say something?
Yes, sorry to interrupt you. We have somebody on the call, Roxana, who has to leave because she's not feeling well. She was supposed to join the next session, and she would just like to say hi to everyone and before she leaves.
Hi, Roxana.
Hi, Roxana.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry, Zoltan, for rushing you, but I'm having a bit of a cold today, and it's also my day off, so I would really like to enjoy it to the fullest. When you're an entrepreneur, it's quite hard to get a day off. So I just want to wish all of you happy International Women's Day. A lot of success and great people around you, and I look forward to seeing the recording actually. And I'll watch your discussion and playback.
Thank you,
So
Roxana.
Roxana,
Get
have
well,
a good
son.
day off then. I think it's a true celebration, by the way. I think Roxana has then, has come to implementation already. So actually, I think it's quite, So we wish Roxana you a very nice day. Okay, so are we coming to Sima Bhaktas?
Yes, my name is very easy to pronounce, and I was also sick like Roxana. Maybe my voice is a little bit weird, but I am okay right now. And thank you for invitation, Zoltan again, and nice to be here again. I'm from Turkey, Istanbul as well. I should say I'm founder of Crypto Woman, but also I am a lawyer, and here I see so many lawyers here like me, and happy to see you. So basically, we are working mostly in technology law and cryptocurrency law in Turkey. And also, but for women diversity, we realize that we have so much few women in technology. That's why we founded Crypto Women Turkey. And now we are one of the most active group in Turkey in the crypto area. So yeah, then we founded sister organization, Esport Women. That's why ISON is one of the part of this. We also support this organization. So because our aim all the same, like women, gender equality. So we should be all the technology area. That's why esport and crypto women right now we're our focus group, I can say.
Okay, so we have two organizations that are friends over here. Nice to hear this news. Later on, you'll share the tips, how to make a group of women coming stronger. So then Nadia, nice to see you, and we would love to hear what you are doing, what you are from. What's your opinion on the general situation around you?
My name is Nadia. I'm based in Malta. Normally we have sunny weather and so on, but it's like really raining today. It doesn't feel like holiday. I don't know what happened, but just like over the weekend, it was like really nice and sunny. I work in the gaming sector. I work on the side of the supplier, on the supplier side. So I've been working both like, B2B and B2Cs, but last like quite few years, I'm working on the supplier side. In this industry, it's actually interesting because a lot of companies nowadays are making an effort to have a gender mix. So my previous company, for example, it was one of the company goals to have like 50-50 males and females because the industry is quite like, male dominated. And, but again, I don't feel any kind of difference. I work as a sales director, so I bring new business for our company. Right now I'm with Relax Gaming, which is pretty much a lot of people from my previous company as well, like working with me right now. So it's really, really nice. Malta is, like, as you might heard or know for sure, that it's like a gaming hub. There are a lot of gaming companies and so on. We are affected by COVID, unfortunately, and in the sense that we can't travel, there are no conferences and all those things. But again, like, everything is shifting online, and at least like we are lucky we can work from home, we can do things from home and so on. So that's a little bit about me. I don't know if there are any questions.
Not at the moment. We will have many more questions for the discussion, but I just wanted to remind everyone that, we are having over here a time, not to say pressure, but a time limitations, which I think is great because we can, jump straight to the discussion. And my first question actually was, what do you think, what is the best place, to start with inclusion? And I'm sorry, maybe we will not, cover all the topics because inclusion and diversity, it's not just about, including like men and women. It's about various, beliefs, various age groups, various, habits, even various working styles. Because what I witnessed, in, for example, the life of lawyers, so to say, mostly, it's a requirement to work in particular styles sometimes. So we speak of much more than inclusion of men and women. But since we are having a Women's Day today, I think no one, will say something wrong to us if we focus still a little bit of inclusion of women over here, since we are all women over here. So what do you think, what would be the best place to start with diversity and inclusion if we speak of particular environment, let's say if we speak about the firm, if we speak about the company, if we speak about the organization, what would you start from? Maybe Aysun, you're nodding the head, maybe you have some insights.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, first time. Huh? The best place to start, I think, yeah, is since we have a organization, voluntary group of people, I believe in communities to start with. People, women, for example, we especially working with women, touching with them. When women can expand their diversity and inclusion mindset in communities, such communities like Crypto Women, Support Women, or supporting women for groups. Yeah, in these terms, I believe in communities are so helpful and supporting to having a diversity and inclusion mindset. Like school, people can teach us, any person can learn anything in school, like when we jump into the life. Communities are so important. We can start with the communities, then workplaces, schools. Yes, start with the communities, I think.
So let's say if you had just, one day to dedicate, for one initiative, for one age group, for one place, where would you go? Maybe someone would say, okay, have a day and do something, something for the better inclusion. Where would you go?
Sorry, for what?
For any initiative, just imagine you have a one day, just a free day. So you are having organization. I know that you are dedicating your time for that organization. But so to say, what particular action would you do? Would you organize a conference? Would you sit with a single lady to talk? What would you do, as a small thing, in a day that would matter? How do you feel? Would you sit with someone? Would you make a lecture? What would you do? What could be an example of that?
For inclusion, diversity and inclusion.
Simply, would you sit with someone personally to talk and say, for some very talented young woman that, you can do this and that? Or would you go for a lecture, for a class of girls? Simply, what seems to you important? What would you do? Just one example.
Yeah, it's a very hard question, by the way. I need the time to think. It's really hard to question because, like, we need to, I don't know, like when someone asks me directly, I have so much, like, maybe in my dream, I want to someone and invite and change the world, but it's so hard to answer this question right now. But yeah, I can guess. I'm thinking it's the same question for us also, right?
Yes. So
okay, I was thinking about that.
You can Sima can add to the question because it's an open discussion. Feel free to jump in. It's gonna flow just more naturally. I'm just asking something, but it's not strictly that you cannot share. Until your row comes. So jump in straight away and tell what you think.
I would jump in but Sima,
of
please.
course.
You first, Agnes.
Because I'm in academia and I'm also regularly teaching. So I think inclusion should already start in education in many ways, and offering mentorship, special mentorship for women students. And actually, we are also working at it at MOME. So on one of our free days, we just started with 3 of my colleagues. It's not yet very official, but we want to offer mentorship for younger PhD students because you often don't know what is, academia life is very hard and it's a lot of burnouts and stuff like this, and you don't know how to make your life. So we want to offer mentorship, like how to use the resources that actually also an academic background can offer you, like fellowships, networks, and how to join that. So I think that would be a one day activity to offer like this kind of you offer what you have already and you offer your strategy and how you are getting where you are.
So this is education and this is mentorship we are speaking of now.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Advice. So Sima, you was having some ideas.
Yeah, actually, the first step, the research say that if women get their rights, if they want their rights, they should be community. Like no one, like man, like in parliamentary, just one day wake up, say, oh, I need to give the rights for the woman. This is not happening like that. In the old history, women fight for this, and they all have community, and they fight for vote rights, they fight for everything, but because they need to be all together, otherwise no one cares, especially men, no one cares. So first of all, we should be bigger community like that. We need to educate ourselves. We need to have such a big community and get supporter. But on the other hand, now we have another strategy. We say, yes, the woman, we know what we want. So what is the next step? For the next step, involve the man as a supporter or community. Now in our community, we have man supporter. We say, this is a woman organization, but you can be our supporter as a man, because we can see that we know our rights, but man doesn't know. So we need to educate them. So the first step, be community. Second step, educate the man. This is my idea. So now we have so much man supporter. They applied our website. They say, I want you grown up. I want your community, and I want woman power in this industry. So this is really big step. So this is my one of the strategy. I don't know if it works or not, but I am very happy that man supporter in our community, like Zoltan, one of them this. So this is so great, like to be all together and to fight everything together for the women rights. This is one of my, I can say.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So Nadia, do you have any insights of this? You know, you said you have various colleagues, you have men, you have women over there. Do you feel, any fight within the, so to say, maybe not the company, maybe just business in general? Do you feel any trends, switching, shifting, happening?
Yes or no, like personally, I think I'm in a really good spot, but I can understand where you guys are coming from as well, because when we initially even started, like the industry was very male dominated. It never stopped me kind of doing my job, but sometimes I hear a lot that people say, oh, because I'm a woman, I can't progress. I don't agree with this, to be honest, much, but again, if we need to listen to the feedback, and as others already rightfully mentioned before that, we need to educate people. I do like to spend time with younger people, because I do see like a lot of people, like a lot of women young, and they're hungry, they want to go, they want to do things around, and it's nice to see things happening. And it doesn't even have to be across the industry. So for example, when I moved to Malta 15 years ago, it was very different from my country. Like simple things, you want to go back to work, your eyes, there was nowhere to leave the baby when you get pregnant and like after you give a birth. So it was like very strange. What are you going to do? You're supposed to resign and stay home. So it would be nice to see things like happening, not just like on the company level, but also like, the government are supporting things and so on. So because otherwise, like it would be very difficult. And some countries, like for example, Sweden did it really, really cool, so they have equal rights, men and women. And I'm lucky, that my previous company was a Swedish company, and they did, care a lot about those things. But it's also, we need to see a little bit maybe from the different angle, like ideas. So for example, men and women, we think differently. So when you have like a good mix, you can also generate really good ideas, which would be very different how to tackle things. And it's very productive for the business, because you don't just go all way one side or the other side. You actually have mix of things, and it helps to grow the business in the right direction. So this is something
this is an idea I totally share. We are not speaking of the inclusion for the sake of inclusion. I mean, it's about the people who need to feel valued and appreciated and do the best they can. And also it's about the success of all the environment we are in, whether this environment is company, country, family, or any company. So Anna Maria, what do you think? What's what have you witnessed in life of lawyers, so to say? What changes you saw, what you witnessed, and what you feel happy about, and what you feel you are not happy about, from what you see in the lawyer's life?
So we have two layers here. We have the corporate life, as I said, and the social life. In the corporate life in Romania, the life of lawyers is easy, and the life of lady lawyers is relatively easy. We are a lot of women that are graduating from the university, and the law firms in Romania are pretty much full of lady lawyers. things change in some of the firms at the management level. There are a lot of firms where the managers are mainly men, but there are also a lot of law firms where the managing partners are women. So I wouldn't say that this is the real issue here in Romania. We are speaking, I'm heading together with Cosmina, a law firm of 11, 12 lawyers, out of which only 3 are men. And we have real difficulties in finding lawyers that are men.
So you're working on inclusion of men.
Yes, exactly. So right now we are trying to include everybody. But what I wanted to say, and I totally agree to what Bach said at the beginning, we do need to work with education. However, what I think is important is that we don't educate women and men, but we rather educate little girls and little boys. So I believe that we should start the process at the very, very, very early stages of their lives, in the kindergarten even. When I was preparing for the conference, I was relatively happy because we are a country where things are okay from a diversity and inclusion perspective. But then I read news yesterday, a piece of news, which says that Romania has now the youngest grandmother in the world. She's 23 and she's a grandmother. And we also have the record for the youngest grandmother, which is her mother, which is 40. So while if we are looking at our level, at the level of lawyers and other corporate staff, whatever it is, we are pretty okay from the diversity and inclusion perspective. But then when you move a little bit from the corporate life and you go into the real life, you see things are very, very different. So I do believe that it's not enough to do this, everything that we do. It's a very good beginning, and it's wonderful to do it at a corporate level, and it's lovely to do it at the university. Even for this, I was having a discussion with some friends. My husband, who's a programmer, told me that when he went to the university, there was actually no lady in their entire
Not a
year.
single one, okay.
Not even one. And now I was talking to a friend of mine who's 19, and she is going to the university right now, the same faculty where my husband went, and they are now almost 30% there are women. So I think that the difference from 20 years to now, it's huge. But then I'm going back to the news with the youngest grandmother, which is not an exception. That's the problem. The problem is that not that we have a world record. The problem is that this is a very usual situation in Romania. So I do believe that we should move this discussion a little bit forward and go to the high school and then go to school and then go to even to kindergarten. Even if we don't make it about girls and boys, as you said, it's an inclusion that means everything, not only women versus men, girls versus boys, but all the differences that we see, we should be able to somehow manage from a very, very stage of life.
I totally share, Anna, these ideas, because what I feel sometimes even on this higher, so once you say professional level, I see that sometimes in my environment, people communicate like from the two standpoints. When you speak to a woman about her professional life, in a meeting, she would say that everything is perfect. I'm perfectly managing my life. I'm doing perfect. And she would, make the best to do the career. But once you're having the conversation with the same lady, over the coffee somewhere, not at the professional environment, she would say, oh God, I'm so burned out. I don't know, how to juggle the personal life and the professional life, etc., etc. So now I said, about this pandemic, that thanks to the pandemic, two things became legal: emotions and kids. So I was joking that hopefully, these two things that got legalized, throughout the pandemic situation. So having, emotions, bad days, and then having kids, I mean, it's for everyone, not only for men. I mean, the same kids, they have a father as well. So we've been joking on this. Okay, so Anna, you was thinking, I saw you was listening and you was thinking, what thoughts are coming to your mind? You are an activist, so you are doing a lot on this topic. So if you could share one story, the most, so to say, successful one for everyone to enjoy a little bit about some initiative that worked, do you have any coming to your mind?
So basically, I'm lucky that I can speak from a perspective of a social worker, from an HR, and from an individual as a woman. What I was thinking regarding the communication, the communication is the key, and on the level when it all becomes a mainstream, so no one can have a perception that this is something that we are doing on a purpose, but this is something that is normal and should happen in a real life. So basically, as an HR, I would like to say that it's very important to create an environment where people can get to know each other among them, because sometimes when we are just communicating the idea of diversity and inclusion, it's not enough. People should get to know each other, to be more empathetic, and to try walking in others' shoes, so they can be more, let's say, again, more empathetic, and to be aware of the position of the other people within the organization. And sometimes I'm feeling that we're living in a bubble, because in my company we're 50-50, 50% of females, and sometimes when I'm sharing these numbers outside of the company, and and how much of them are developers? So basically, the HR are the girls, and all the others are developers. And when I'm telling them that the number in the HR and in the engineering team is pretty the same, they're just like confused. So not only what I have done by now is in the HR field is we are using gender decoders to find subtle bias in the job ads that we are creating. We are trying to improve, to make a secure environment for mothers, because we have a lot of developers and engineers that are employees overall that are in the age that they are becoming a mother, and always trying to find a new way to promote the equality. Currently, we are creating an engagement and happiness strategy with all diverse activities for all kind of people, no matter their age or their gender. It has activities for everyone, and they can join voluntary. So basically, we are trying also to provide benefits for people who are having families, such as private health insurance, not to be just a benefit for the employees. They can also include their family members inside them, and etc. And regarding the social work and social aspect of gender equality, I think that the trick is that the results aren't coming instantly. So basically, I cannot say something that we are most proud of or successful project, because we have to be persistent and to wait for the results in the long term. So basically, if we are doing and acting right now, maybe we'll see the results in 10 years and etc. But I'm most proud maybe that 2 years ago I asked the girls in my company to join the local march for 8th of March. It is an ongoing, it has a, let's say, it happens it has a traditional, it happens 10 years, about 10 years, and all the—
How many people do you have? How many people do you normally have marching with you?
Usually we are about 300 to 400 girls, not so much, but we are sending strong messages, so it's something that is covered by the media, and I think it's really nice. And I really, let's say that hate is a strong word, but I really don't like the idea of banalizing 8th of March with extreme discounts of cooking dishes, perfumes, and etc. Yeah, we all love discounts, especially on the products that we are using on a daily basis. but I think that we should send the right message on this day. So
Okay. So that's actually interesting. I would definitely notice 400 girls marching on the streets. I think it's not little, it's 400. So you shouldn't say it's not much. So Sima, I saw you came back. So what about your initiatives? Do you have any, maybe with the cooperation, do you have any examples to share, the successful examples, of the things that really worked in your experience? Maybe you had one organization, now you already cooperating with another one. Do you have any, maybe, I want the listeners just to imagine how it all happens, just to really feel, how do you gather? What do you do? Do you speak, do you sit, in the Zoom meetings once a week? How do you make this organization working one? What's your schedule? What you're basically doing?
To be honest, when we first published that we will create a crypto woman Turkey in Twitter, most of men and mostly they say, oh, what are you gonna do? And they kidding off us. They say, oh, like this is just kind of not necessary things. But then now, like 2 years later now, we are the one of the big organization in Turkey. What
so
we
how
do?
Many, how many,
what did? Huh?
Sorry to interrupt. How many members do you have now?
I think now we have around 300 members. And also 100 as a man supporter, so totally 400 around.
So it's like a march, we have the same group marching, as I saw on March 8th, and you have around, so pretty much the same. You see, it's a very interesting comparison.
Exactly. So what we did big hackathon with university as a crypto woman. It's so hard to doing some as a woman organization to activity, because we realized that all the organizations happen by man community, and they just invite one woman just for woman, like just
to have a presence. There is this. I remember a citation. There was such awful citations, well, it's a bit hard to translate so quickly to English language, but it sounded like, this nice minister, will change the beauty of the cabinet of the ministers. As you said, there was a public citation, flying around about, one representative, who will, enchase the nice company of these like 7 men. We are still having of this communication, and I have to admit that I'm not totally unbiased myself. I discovered that I have plenty of biases, within my head, within my heart, in my environment. So I'm not speaking, as a preach, who's totally unbiased one. So basically, yeah, this is very interesting to hear about this hackathon. And how was that hackathon perceived?
It was really like around 300 students applied. We selected 10 success project. And second, we did like crypto talks event in Turkey, and we went to university, and then we part of so many projects also as well. And last one, today it will be, and Clubhouse? I don't know, in Turkey is so famous right now. We have community. We did one organization as a like talking about cryptocurrency and situation, and 3,000 people listen us, like it was record that time record, like, so everybody talk about that, even media talking with us, we interview, and most of students try to be joined with our community. Now we have very good position, because we like I was really fed up, like man organization and most of men fed, and I always discuss, I say, where is the woman? Why this organization just all out? You will have a like soccer game or something like that. This is, I was always criticized. Then I say we should stop it and doing organization. Maybe we will invite as a man. I don't know. Like now we have a very good power, and then we see what we can change it in 2 years. We change a lot of prejudice against women, and because I can say that like the cryptocurrencies, the most few female include this sector. It's 5% in the world. Normal technology is 10% around the world, but blockchain, crypto is 5%. The lowest rate in the world. So these things, we saw it, we say, okay, won't be man job. So that's why we founded this organization, and also esport as well. So,
so maybe we can jump to Aysun.
Yeah, Aysun can explain,
because I think you can add something. So Aysun, what about the women in esports? What's the situation? Maybe you have some statistics, some insights. What's the situation of women in esports in general?
Yeah, there is a lot of women in esports sector, and they are involved. They want to try to involve, get a job, being actor as an influencer or gamer. They are a lot. They are very lot, but they are trying to empowering their voice. They are trying to be their voice heard. It. Yeah, we are supporting them. We just newly established a support women, but like we did in Crypto Women, we will do education program, training program, meetings. We will start this year as soon as possible with actively. Now I can't really share any, maybe Sima can help again. I can't really share any statistics about gaming, but there are a lot. I know women in this. Also in Turkey, we have a very young population in Europe.
We are youngest country in Europe.
Yeah, as population. And women also, young women are, our generation, new generation are so curious about new technology. We are, even not in the young population, our community are so eager, keen on adapting new technology, gaming, crypto, blockchain, fintech. We see them all. We see them not separately. So yes, there is a lot of women in this gaming sector, fintech sector. Yeah, I can.
Do you feel, is it a bit easier, for a woman to participate since it is digital? I mean, via the screen, because once you enter the room full of men, like physically, I mean, like the parliament, it's one thing. Another thing, is speaking, from the other side of the screen where you sit, in your room, in your environment, you can put a few friends, besides to support you. Does any one of you maybe raise your hand who would like to share, any differences you feel are, in the real life, like when you meet face to face, and in the tech life when you meet digitally? Does someone who would like to share, any insights on this? Nadia, do you feel any differences, of the?
I would prefer real life, honestly. I prefer the real life. I know what they're talking about. It makes me really laugh because, yes, you're very right about it. Sometimes, especially on the conferences, like you go abroad and you would be like one woman in the room, which feels a bit like odd in a way sometimes. But then I would prefer still real life. You do things in real life so much better than digitally. I still find it.
Well, probably if you are from gaming industry, from gambling. Sorry, so you've been to ICE in London, yes?
Yes, but too many others.
For those who don't know, ICE London is a very, very big event for the gambling industry, and you can meet a lot of men and women over there. But still, quite a long time, women have been represented over there, like some of women as decorations. And I know that the ICE organizers have passed, so to say, rules that you should at least dress up these women, because they used to be literally naked. I mean, when speaking naked, I mean almost literally naked.
It depends which one. So yeah, so they were like affiliate conference after ICE, and that was like disgrace, really. But you're right about something else, because like normally, like you have models on the stands, and it was always girls. So I think they introduced some laws a few years ago that you have to have like a mix, like guys and girls as well.
I was just a visitor, it's not my primary focus, but I've been personally over there, after, the rules have already changed. So to me, as a foreigner, it seems still, that, well, you have women under the desk, doing business, but, as still, there is this distraction of nicely dressed up ladies who are doing marketing job. I call it marketing job, but I saw no men, doing this marketing job with the trays of champagne. So, so I would say my personal perception perception, speaking of this one event, was that, well, the equality didn't yet happen.
No, they were going in the right direction, because I remember we used to have boys and girls on the stand as well, and that was actually from our head of marketing. But yeah, you're right. It's even in this industry, to be honest, there are some companies like I'm actually girls, like I'm very proud in a way of you, because I don't have those challenges, but you're having so like organizations like marches and so on. Like I'm impressed, really. Like it's eyes opening in certain way, maybe because I was much more fortunate in this regards, but there are some companies where like and there are another very important factor. So there are some companies, for example, if you're talking about, let's say, live dealer, most of the dealer presenters are women, but then most of the management, like 99% of the management, it would be guys. So the company, like from the outside, it could see like, yeah, we have gender equality, we have everything there. So
numbers, in plain numbers, so to say, it's like 50-50, 50%
like 70-50, but then like we should look on the dealers. Yeah, but then gender equality should be like between management team as well, not just like we have a lot of like women around. It doesn't work this way. And sometimes, unfortunately, like even behind the scene, I've been in the situation where, okay, we have this goal, now we need to hire like a woman, because to make the split. And it's also wrong approach, because you should hire people for the quality, not because just for the things. So we need to be very careful where to draw the line, not to go like too extreme just because it has to be this or this. So
about the competence, I come from a law firm, which actually I can say, personally, that we do have policies implementing, and we have just, because I've been asking everyone, so I think it's time to share a little bit what we are doing, like basically. So I think what I think there is some work to do still, but we are having the program of co-heads. So co-heading is meaning that two people are leading the group. So it's also the inclusion of generations, so to say. So basically, if you go to the webpage of our law firm, you would notice that normally you would have two people in charge. It doesn't mean that it's always men and women. It can be men and men. It can be women and women. It can be men and women in diverse ages. So basically what we are doing over here, we are having this program, to transfer the experience, one of this, and, to have a mixture of competences. And what we witnessed, and I actually perceive myself, that having this mix of competences greatly benefits all around the people, because there can always be a few approaches to the problem. So within the law firm, and actually this is not only maybe law firm I know, but it's not that popular still. And initially it went as an experiment, let's see how would it work. And actually it works now perfectly. And I think the firm is going to stay with the co-head initiative. So, actually it's not speaking of, but actually giving the power for someone else. And the co-heads usually have the equal power. So what also we have within the firm, we have a tolerance partner. And actually, this is very difficult thing to do, because you need a personality. If you just name a person, who would be the tolerance partner you can approach to, I think it would not work. It's going to be just a name for marketing, for advertising. So I can say that we have a person, an approachable one, like, the person you can really go and speak to, and the person having power within the company. So if you name, some people in some kind of the environment, I can say that it's not about having a name, it's about, naming someone who has real power and real compassion for the issues. And also we have various initiatives. So just from my perspective, what I saw in the business, I saw lots of changes. And I saw, speaking of the environment, I saw great benefits of the, so to say, forced parental leave for parents. I know that in Scandinavia, people do that when the parents can go to paternity leave, not maternity leave. And the system works like that. Either father goes or you won't get it. I'm sorry for making so simple, but because if you're allowed to choose, well, it doesn't happen. I mean, normally women would go, but there are systems how by law it can become enforced that you get additional leave if parents go. So actually, we have in Lithuania actually only 1 month of parental leave, which cannot be, taken by women, by anyone else. It's just for the parent. And I personally digged a little bit into statistics, and what I saw it is that very, very important to let, for example, the parents to leave at the initial stage to get them attached to the baby, because what happens if you close the door, and you let both parents stay with the baby for, let's say, 3 months, so you have the connection then. And if you let someone, to go already back to work, you would have absolutely completely differently involved parent in the family. Because the statistics said that if you forcefully leave parents, the fathers at home with the kids, they leave, but they leave with different mindset, with different, so to say, focus. So actually, we do not have enough time to touch on the political goals, but one of the examples I saw statistics was, proving that it does work. So making even amendments of the law and even forcing, so to say, forcing fathers and parents to share the maternity leaves, just for bonding the connection and etc. So actually, I just had these tips. What I saw. So the program of co-heading within the firms and within whole society, making the actual chances, for the parents, for the fathers to get involved. And also, I see Zoltan writing that we have, 15 extra minutes, because we were about to end, but we have 15 extra minutes. So I saw, we still have 15 minutes to discuss. So if you are free to stay, I think we still have some things to talk about. So back, Agnes, from the academical perspective, what do you see? What main qualities need to be, so to say, empowered in women for them to make the life easier? If we speak about the competences, and if we speak that it's, that we should hire people for the competences. So what competences as a woman we can develop for ourselves, to make life easier?
Oh, thanks. This is a good question and a relevant one. I always want to encourage actually everyone, because usually what I see to young students that they don't know what is actually making things to work. And one is that always ask. If you find an organization that you would like to work there, write to them an email. Just so, like maybe you write 100 emails, but one of them can get you a job. This is, for example, how I got my first job when I moved to Hungary. Always, like, also inside the academia, if you want to work with a department, just write to them an email. If you want to do something, if you want to do a project, just write an email, just get in touch. And this is what actually many times work, because if you don't speak, then no one will know what you want.
So that's proactiveness. Can we, because I'm putting, a list, as a wish for many women, a list of competences, we should all develop to make life easier. So you now speak of some kind of proactiveness and courage, maybe.
Certainly proactiveness, but also if you, for example, and also the need of networking. But there is, I think, also when we talk about networking, we always imagine people who are very extroverted, but I think also introverted people can network. And I think that's also very important, because many of us are raised like to be introverted, to be a good girl, don't ask, don't do anything, just stay at home. But there is also, I think, a bridging way how to fight this, but also still keep your inner child as a good girl. And that's always about very soft pointing to someone and what's the word? Soft poking someone, but you can, there are just easy ways. Go and find your own calling, which is, the sounds also very bad in a way, but find what would be your, how people would recognize you, what are you doing. For example, I started to organize the Conference of Interactive Digital Storytelling in Budapest, which was by, I don't know, when I started my PhD, then I realized, like, I don't know anyone who's working with the theory of video games and of immersive theater. So, and I went to a conference, which is actually for Eastern and Central Europeans cost a lot, but I had a fellowship back then, so I could afford. But I realized, like, there is no one organizing this in our region. So I started to organize it. And then that brought me a lot of network, which actually is very helpful. So for later stage, especially in the academia, it's very hard to find a job. So build your own network. That can also help you.
Well,
so
we are a part of your network now. So, even this conference brings more to the network. Anna Maria, what are your insights about the competences we should develop, and maybe what women should develop and what the rest of society should develop in this respect? What competences?
What use is actually, as you said, it's not necessarily about equality as much as is it about fairness and balance. So if I'm hiring somebody and I want to have a man, it's as in and equal as if I wanted to have a woman. It has to be based on competencies, and it has to be based on the better placed men for the job or women for the job. Of course, we need to find solutions so that we have a balance, both at, as Nadia was saying, at the level of the management and at the level of the whatever dealers. But coming back to what you said, that it's easier if we are in a virtual room than in a real room. I again agree with Nadia. I think it's better if we go in a real room, because even if it's only one woman, it's one woman more than none. And we should go there and we should be there. And maybe now it's only one, but tomorrow there will be two. And then in 5 years, maybe there will be 10%, or I don't know. But going back to what you said about ICE, it's exactly the same. We need to be there to balance the other women, the rest of the women. We need to show the world that it's both them and us, and it's women everywhere. And again, there have been men, at least at the last edition of ICE, there have been men. Of course, they were fighting, they were having a fake video game-like fight, but they were there. So it was the first step. Now we had a pandemic and we had no ICE, so it's easier like this.
So we can, we have time to think of new initiatives. So it's about also proactiveness, as you said. I'm looking, for the same, so to say, red line everyone is telling. So I still can see this red line of proactiveness, that if you want to make something, you just have to go and do
exactly.
that.
Exactly. You have to do it. It's not enough that we speak about it. It's important that we speak about it, but it's also important that we do something about it.
So Sima, so sorry, I'm just trying to manage the time. It's I would listen for your insights. Even would love to have a call, since you're a lawyer. So I think we have lots of things in common, just to discuss.
Absolutely.
So as we lawyers speak a lot.
Yeah, so another lawyer, Sima. So what do you have to add? My red line, I'm trying to make a list. If someone's some young woman is listening to us and she's making a list of competences, she should gain, in order to feel free, in professional, in personal life. So what competences you see we still need to develop?
We need to develop confidence.
I think it's really deep question, by the way, because there are so many ways we need to competence each other. But more, first of all, to be role model. I think this is one of the way to be role model to young women, and because the young women really need someone who can do it in the future. Because I get so much email in a daily life when I invite as a conference and speaking. After that, especially young ladies send me messages. They say, I get point for you. I'm really follow your way. This is make me so much happy. I think they need some good role model for their future life, because in all social media, and you said, you also mentioned about that woman almost naked and just like the Instagram post. Okay, there's their life, but another way we can show them like how women can success in real life and show their power in the industry. This is also can be this. I can say this is one of the point for that.
I like this, to put, if someone's putting a note, so show the power. I love that one, of showing the power, because there is a lot of power, sometimes suppressed. So maybe showing the power. So, okay, Anna, do you have some, short listed version, of the competences you would wish, people around you would develop to make inclusion and diversity at a better place?
Yeah, when I was thinking about this event, and I was trying to remember on some examples from the real life, and I'm remembering when I was a little girl, I have a friend. She was a very curious girl, and her father, for the Women's Day, bought her a laptop. So I'm not saying that we should buy expensive gifts to our daughters, but to find what is their talent and to nurture and support their ideas. So basically, when I was Googling her and I opened her LinkedIn profile and I saw that she is now in Switzerland finishing her master studies, and I was really happy about that. So nurturing curiosity, nurturing other talents that other girls have is one of the must-have. And to not forget where we come from. So when we are on a higher positions in the community, within the organization, etc., I think it's not only opportunity for us, but it's also a responsibility to support the other girls, to support initiatives that are in the community, such as Girl in Tech initiatives, other types of activism, and etc. And to create a more supportive environment for the girls, since it's always you know, when you have a supportive environment, they'll know.
Okay, that's very important. I believe so. Aysun, are you still with us? You know, for the final word.
Sorry.
No, I was asking, is Aysun over here, you know, because we're pretty much to closing, you know, we have a few minutes. So I actually was putting, you know, all the insights. So Aysun, I think already got, you know, to doing things.
Hello, I am here.
Oh, are you here? So Aysun, what would be your closing remark, you know, about the competences the woman should develop in order to be successful over here and now? Do you have a few words, just a few?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I noted a situation quotation like you said before at the beginning. I liked it and I noted. I want to share lastly. It says diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. Werner Meyer says it. I liked it a lot.
I love it. It's amazing one.
It's a lot, I think. Yeah, that will be my last sentence like this. Thank you, everyone.
So that's an amazing insight, and I think we haven't heard, you know, the closing remarks from Nadia. I think, or did we already?
Okay, but again, like, you know, really good job. You know, yes, I agree completely that we need to act as a model, and also for the young woman, maybe like, you know, listen to yourself. You know, industry is changing, the world is changing. What was not okay a few years ago, it's okay now. And, you know, if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. If it feels right, it feels right. So just like kind of be yourself and don't be, you know, shy to be yourself. Just because otherwise you wouldn't go, you know, with your dreams. And if you need help, don't be shy to ask for help. It's okay as well.
Oh, that's amazing one, to ask for help. Well, this is true. I mean, because once you say a woman, she should be strong, you know, and show the courage. So then asking for help suddenly disappears. Yes. Okay, so thanks a lot. Well, we are definitely should be closing. So I think we are free to stay in the discussion and to listen what other panel is going to discuss. It's very interesting to me personally, you know, how this another panel is going to develop, continue, or maybe that discussion will be totally different. And my citation for the closing of this would be, first of all, it's you know, it was amazing. It was a real pleasure to speak with you. And I would like to end up with the two things. So one is about short story. I was, you know, liaising with women in cinema. So two very powerful women in Scandinavian cinema came and said how they did it. So they said, initially we established an organization and we needed, you know, to be undangerous. So we just were sipping champagne and making an awards. You know, we were giving the awards to other women, you know, for the accomplishments. And no one thought we are dangerous because we're sipping champagne, you know, and granting the awards for other women. But then the awards got public, you know, it was media coverage. It was, you know, interviews, it was everything. And then this woman got powerful. And then she said, we became a little bit more, you know, persistent. And we asked, you know, for some changes of laws. we had already some choirs for the parliament, and everyone started, from very nice, Sunday sipping of champagne, doing some awards, and later on they pushed, very serious legislative initiatives. So it was, a way how Scandinavian women in cinema industry did. So actually, and as I look at the examples in the law, I always, look at the Ruth, the famous Ruth judge from the United States. And I would like to close with the last sentence, that I strongly believe that, women belong in all places where decisions are made. So I'd wish, every one of us to feel belonging to all the places where the decisions are made, and not to forget to invite other people to the party. So Zoltan, the mic is yours. I'm done, and I think my panel is done. We are going to listen to the other panel now.
Okay, thank you so much, Jovita. It has been very refreshing to start this session with you and all these strong women voices of the tech and compliance industry, some of which we know personally and we missed seeing at our live conferences, but somehow we got to stay connected. So I would like to invite the next moderator, Stefania, on to bring her video on. Are you here, Stefania?
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, we do have some speakers missing from this session, especially those coming from North America due to the time zones. But we still have all the other strong voices here. So I will leave the virtual floor to you to start your session, and we go on.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm just, I was listening at what Jovita was saying and what the amazing women they were on her panel, they were sharing. And I think there were some very interesting points about confidence, about standing out there and, follow on your own ideas and your dreams. And I think this is something very important. And, there are amazing women that are going to be in my panel, focus on the tech industry, which historically has been a place mainly driven by men, but women are actually coming out, are leading amazing projects, and they are part of this amazing new world that is shaping up. And saying that, I'm not sure if we have here Sima Baktas, but I would like to start with her because she is the founder of Crypto Women Turkey. Let's say I do a few things in the crypto space, so I strongly believe that the cryptocurrency industry or the cryptocurrency space, let's call it like that, is evolving strongly, is gonna become a key part of what is the evolution of finance, and having somebody that is able to gather all the women, which most of them are left behind, but they are showing strong interest into this new evolution of money is something very interesting. And I would like to welcome Sima. Sima, are you here?
I'm here.
Hi, Sima. It's really a pleasure to have you here because, looking at what you are doing in Turkey and how you are managing to get women into this new space, I think that is so valuable, is amazing. And I would like you to share, how you started and also the challenges that you face in getting women on board in the crypto space.
As I mentioned previous panel, and Turkey is one of the youngest country in Europe, and also we have 50% of women, 50 men, and population of the country, and we also #1 trading in Europe, #1, and also in the world we are 4-1. So this is huge number. Very big industry in Turkey, cryptocurrency. So, and not just cryptocurrency, also online trading, not just online trading, also online banking users are #1 in Europe. So because we are youngest country in Europe, so we have large young population. Those young population are mostly, that interest in technology sector. So that's why we saw that when I did so many events and organization, I saw that large of man, full of man organization. There is no woman. So, and as you know that all women situation, all the world, all the country is very bad situation about the diversity, as well as Turkey is the same situation. And even we have a now in our constitution there is a title, and it's an article is about discrimination women for positive discrimination for women. That's why we get power from the constitution, this idea, and we create crypto woman Turkey. So first of all, it was so hard because it was manuals, and I can say that I mentioned before, just 5% of women involved in this industry. 95% are men. So this is so few rate. So that's why we create and then fight for this, because if we don't have community each other, so if we don't collect each other and share our idea and doing event against to get our rights, it will be the same level. So now, and it's getting increased women voice in this industry, and especially in Turkey. So so we are, I can say I'm proud of to say that now we are one of the very good organization and very professional organization in Turkey. So now everything's changed. Last 1 year, most of university students call us as a speaker, and they wants the cooperation with us. And when there is an event in Turkey, they say we want to women, crypto women in Turkey involved and supporting. They want to support us. So this is something to change in this industry. It's not big, but something. This is one step is change everything. You know that this is, I can say, the result, just summary of the situation now. And sorry, because of my voice, I still have little bit sickness affect my voice.
Listen, I'm interested to understand how you are leading the group, because I understand there is this amazing interest in cryptocurrency. More and more women are getting involved. The government is supporting that, so there is actually quite a fertile environment for women to be part of this technology evolution in the money space, which, as you said, is mainly a man-driven environment. How are you? How are you working in your group? I mean, are you running education courses or training for some young women? How women are joining the group, and how has expanded over the last year?
First of all, of course, we use social media and social media groups. And first, we create WhatsApp groups for the get in touch, communicate each other. Then we create our website, and all the women share their blog and things and articles in the website. Secondly, we did free educations like trading and what is blockchain, what is cryptocurrency. We get lesson from the women traders. And the last year pandemic, and then we did some certificate program for women then. And this is really was super good. And even men send us messages. They say, you did very good job. We want for us to. Then we create Crypto Camp Turkey brand, and we say, okay, man, you can also come. So we lead by as a crypto woman, and around like 300 people join, and it was certificate program. So now I can say that all the education about crypto is by women, crypto women in Turkey. So this is really good power. And we doing crypto talks at event also in Instagram, a live meeting, now Clubhouse. So we use aggressively social media for that. And also we get last things we did get need member and also supporter from the men's side. So now we have another idea like next hackathon, and the woman woman an unemployment situation. We try to solve this sector also. We write some report about the woman situation, how we can cooperation with other organizations, like especially in US I am also member of some organizations. So we want to cooperation all around the world, and make our voice and much more all the world, to show all the world what we are doing, what we can do it. So this is we work a lot. So we have really good a member, and they are really active in all the university. So they also part of this organization. So this is, I think we are going very well. I don't know. This is I feel it like that.
That's pretty impressive. Listen, last question is more from a technology perspective. Obviously, you are a leader in the space, and you know a lot about cryptocurrency. They came in and they are disrupting, they start to disrupt the finance space, particularly in a developing country, in country where the government and also the money, the currency in the country is not very powerful, and they are democratizing access to funds. Let's call it that way. How do you see, and then we see obviously financial institution buying to Bitcoin, so there is kind of endorsement also from the traditional world. Where do you see Bitcoin and cryptocurrency be in the next 5 to 10 years? And what would you like cryptocurrency to bring to people and countries in general?
You know that crypto, you also work in crypto area, you know, the crypto's philosophy is decentralized system and freedom of the financial instrument for the all around the world. So this is what I'm thinking. I think this cryptocurrency will be all the time our agenda. And then now the also government in Turkish government try to regulate it about that, and also they wants to be leader in crypto in Europe. So what I'm thinking, I think, and also the economic situation, because most of people wants to alternative financial instrument and then investing. So, and also I think for the woman also one of the alternative income. How? We trade so many women. They for most of them was housewife and with children. They say I can't work, I can't go out, nobody can give me job. But when they know trading in home, they start with little money and analyzing, and they try to earn money. So this is, I think, one of the optional income for the woman in house. So I think this industry will be going on and going on. And we try to also, especially our focus group is housewife who can't work in outside. So I think it will be more and more people will be involved, because I every day get messages. We every day get messages from the all Turkey and other target group. So this will be a huge market, and we want to be lead one of the organization in Turkey, and not just in Turkey, and then cooperation with other country, and then doing this activity and more professional way together with as a woman power, especially with this wonderful woman. I hope we can work together in next time in all those things going on very well.
Sima, thank you so much. I'm going to move to the next panelist, and then we will come back to discuss about this collaboration between women, because I think that's very important. I introduced to Silvia Cristina Stegaru. She's a co-founder of Codet and software engineer that play a key role in the cyber and security space. And this is also a very important area of technology development, because with technology picking up and people working more online and everything, all our lives being online, obviously we see many threats and security issues. They become so relevant, and having somebody working into this space and leading innovation is quite important, to have women representing also this aspect of technology. So Silvia, you there? Sylvia? Okay, I'm not sure we actually have Sylvia, so I'm gonna move to the next panelist, which is Martina. Martina Filipovic. She's a senior marketing manager at Soft Trade Solution. So another woman that is working in the technology space and is trying to work around this innovation in communication, in marketing, and also execution and strategy in the technology space. Martina, nice to have you here.
Hi to all. It's my pleasure to be with you today. First of all, I would like to say hello to all of the amazing ladies that are here today. Wish you a happy International Women's Day. But I truly and firmly believe that we empower every day, not only today. Regarding this topic, there are many things I can say. I tuned in for several minutes on previous conversation as well, in the previous panel. What I would like to say first is when we talk software solutions, I can proudly confirm that 45% of all of our employees are women. And the entire middle management are women too. So we truly live the quotes that say that women can do anything. When we discuss the current situation in my country, in Bosnia and Herzegovina, regarding women in ICT, unfortunately, it's still an unequal situation. Predominantly men have jobs in this industry, but the other thing that has been happening for several years now is that we have a lot of immigrants living to other countries. So that number is increasing every day as well. When we talk marketing and digital activities and technology per se, I can speak for my example that for the last several years, I have been invited several times to be an expert on several topics in my college. There are many activities that encourage and engage women to be more active in the field of technology. However, I believe that first thing that needs to be done is that women need to empower themselves. We need to support each other and we need to work on our attitude. Because technology and software development, like any other job, it can be taught, it can be learned through the period of time, but what needs to be mostly in focus is the community. We as a community need to talk more about the issues and inequalities we face every time. And when that becomes a common sense for the country, for example, then in the future, everything will come in the same order. So I can't wait to engage in further discussions. I would like, if you, for example, have any questions or any examples you would like me to talk about, it would be my pleasure.
Yes, definitely. So you mentioned about your company being mainly driven by women, and I think this is amazing and something quite unique, particularly in the technology space, as we said. So maybe would you like to tell a little bit about the input that women have in your organization and how it feels to be in such a unique position?
Well, as I've stated, 45% of our team are women, and that's a great achievement. And that's one of the things we pride ourselves mostly on. We are a software development company, and we develop software solutions for the US-based companies. So you can presume that most of these women are software developers, QAs, product managers, project managers, and like I've stated, the entire middle management are women. What does that mean? It means that we are the force that drives the company forward along with our male colleagues. All the decision-making process when we return to the middle management part are made by these amazing and strong women. And that is just another confirmation that when we talk about making a great, smart, strategically proven decisions, there is no difference between women and male. But in my opinion, women are more meticulous, they are more detail-oriented, they have their inner scent for certain situations. And as a proof and confirmation for all of this that I'm saying is the fact that for the last 2 years, we have been growing continuously for over 200%, and we are still hiring. And now we have a company of 100 strong individuals. So my company is one of the rare examples where you have such a high percentage of the women in the total number of the employees.
Okay, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Especially in software company.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations, really,
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. We are very proud of that fact, and especially when we talk about the roles, the importance of the overall roles in the company, because our COO is a woman. I am a woman as a senior marketing manager. All of our PMs are women. Our office manager is a woman. So this is our middle management, and we work very well along, and together we bring great results.
And listen, can I ask you, if you are looking at it at the technology aspect, is there something particular or peculiar to women when they are looking ahead and how the world can progress and how technology can develop that is kind of unique of a woman approach?
Well, I can only talk from the marketing side, since that's my specialty. I believe that women have a more specific eye to the details, and we can listen out to the events more better. And my intuition has never let me down so far. I hope it will stay like that in the future as well. But what rejoices me the most is the fact that several companies that have been increased, or so to say, they have been started in the startup world, are now leveraging towards unicorns, and they're all being led by women. And that's mostly when we talk about the marketing space. And all of these latest issues and situations that are happening are affecting digital marketing world overall. For example, you have most certainly read what's going on in Australia regarding the Google and everything, that they want to be paid for all the links. So I believe that is a situation that's going to reflect to the entire world, but at the end, it always comes to the person who is making the final decision. And when I talk about my female colleagues in software developers, QAs, and PMs, I can confirm and proudly say that when it comes to tasks numbers, task resolutions, task difficulties, they are shoulder to shoulder with all of our female colleagues in task resolving and everything.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So I think we are going to be only us three from this session, isn't it, Zoltan? Okay, fine. So let's maybe start to discuss something and throw out some ideas. From the previous panel, there were some women, they mentioned about confidence. And in a world that is mainly built from a man perspective, even though women has always played a very important role, particularly in families, and in communities as well. What I wanted to pick up your brain on is why do you think women, they are not standing out and go for what they believe, their ideas, their dream, what they want to achieve? What is keeping them, it's just holding them back, right? And what they should actually do to get out?
Is it a question for me or for everyone?
Well, for you and Sima, who wants to take?
Okay, Sima, would you like?
I can say that, like, why women always fight for their rights, because who is the get discrimination for all the area, not just in working sector, also in, for example, I don't have a child, but my two sisters have a child, and I saw their position, how it's hard, very hard to working and to be housewife and take care of child. So this is really big challenge for women. The society wants to be good mother, but on the other hand, you have to earn your money and you have to survive. So this is very big challenge. Even if you don't have child like me, and you have to be always be perfect to be. I think we much more suffering for this way. We have to be more reading and get success and learn many languages and to be to be shine for this industry. So I think people always think like man and woman are equal. No, we are not equal, right? We don't have equal background. We have to much more working and do everything. For example, when I studied in university exam in Turkey, we have exam. You have to be very good to go to university. So when I go home, I have to clean the stuff and then work. But my brothers, they don't do that. I mean, they are, they are much more free. Like I don't know in your country, but in my country, men are much more privileged. So they can, if they do that, we say, wow, thank you. so this is so hard. Yeah. So we say we thanks to the men who take care of their baby and they do their job. For example, they think that we have to do everything by woman's side. That's why we learn very hard way and in the world. So that's why some people are ask me, why are you sometimes so aggressive in women rights? We have to be aggressive. I'm sorry. When we calm down and nice, no one care about us. So maybe because of our background, we fight each other, fight strongly. This is maybe affect our psychological way. So I'm sorry. Sometimes I say so many things about women rights. I'm very, very feel deeply all the time because now is just forget about working life. Now we are have to stand up violence against women. So this is high topic right now in Turkey, and I believe that unfortunately in every country is the same situation. So women try to be survive in the world, like they against the violence, against everything, not just physical violence, also emotional violence. So that's why this kind of organization, this kind of community, to get in touch, share ideas, to be community, to support each other, so important for us. So I'm saying like,
yeah, that's a very good observation as well. I think, the society demand us too much, and obviously keeping up with everything is quite difficult. So I think this is a really interesting point. Martina, do you have anything to add?
Yes, several things. First of all, I would like to say that I agree on everything Sima has stated. Unfortunately, many of countries are still experiencing that. And when I talked several minutes ago about education and empowerment and everything, now I realize that unfortunately for many women and young ladies, education is just still a dream, because they have to work, they have to help their families, or they are not even allowed to go to college. So by trying to change the common sense, the common feeling and perception of the country, let's now focus on the global level. On the country, we are going to, in years, maybe achieve a change for all the young women and ladies. Unfortunately, we still do live in a man's world, and we still have to fight for ourselves and never take anything for granted, because I always like to say that for me and for most of the women, nothing was ever gifted to. We have never gotten anything without prior having to, so to say, fight for it. When when problems encounter us, when we face challenges or difficulties, it's only up to us and our skills and our knowledge to overcome it. And being successful in today's world, depending on which country you live in, has different definitions. So facing today's world and challenges, I can gladly say that I live in a country where women are mostly respected and treated as equal. But when I read about some cases like the latest case that was happening in Turkey, I believe where some things are going to change for the better. I hope I see that we have a lot of things to work on in the future as well. So empowering women, changing attitude, working on enhancing education for women, I believe all of that is just the final layer on the cake, because we need to fight the basics problem, and that's the problem within the community, within the family, within the attitude from the parents. I luckily had parents that always supported me in everything, that supported my education to strive my dreams. But I know a lot of girls and young women that weren't so lucky. They had to work, they didn't have a chance to go to college, they didn't have a chance to inspire or work for the better. And unfortunately, their dreams had to stop at some level. So this topic is very sensitive and has a lot of points to focus on. Unfortunately, I don't think we have time now to focus on all of them, but to increase or to succeed on all of these things and to create a better environment for our daughters and our granddaughters is something that needs to be done, of course, but in changing the mindset of the core family, changing the mindset of the country, and of course, working towards finding the solution.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. I think this is going to lead to another big aspect of women empowerment, which is solidarity, collaboration, something, Sima, that you mentioned previously, and something that, Martina, you are seeing in your organization. How important is for a woman to inspire other women and to help and support those women who are in a situation that is not so easy for them to get out and say what they want and go for it?
Well, I believe the first key point to focus regarding that is the empathy we all have in ourselves. The second thing is to embrace the fact that you only grow by helping others. So when we combine those two emotions, we can start focusing on helping other women. Once again, I have to say that I'm very lucky and blessed to work in a company like Softray, because since day one, I have only experienced all the best and all the greatest emotions from my Softray ladies. Just a few days ago, I had a problem and I asked for help and advice, and all of them direct messaged me saying, okay, you can do that, try this, and everyone was there to help. Because when I started working in this company, I've moved from another city, and I always tell this to everyone. Prior to my arrival, not even knowing me, one of my team members contacted me via LinkedIn, sent me her phone number and said, okay, here's my number. If you need anything, call me. Would you like to have a coffee before day one? And so on. So that kind of respect before even knowing a person is a clear sign that women do have that deep empathy within them. And what we as software ladies often do is we organize internally when we see that there is, for example, a need for another ladies in our city or something like that, and we organize to help. The biggest thing for me, one of my postulates that I live by is to only do to others what I would like to be done to me. For example, I always treat everyone with respect and smile and kind word, because it costs nothing, but it can improve someone's day. And I always like and encourage people for knowledge transfer, because I have many years of experience in ICT world. I have been working in digital marketing for the last 7 years, so I'm always willing to share my knowledge. And I only believe that by sharing your knowledge and helping someone else with that knowledge, you'll be able to teach them how to work and how to earn. You don't help them always by giving them, for example, money, but by giving them advice, by giving them guidance and transferring your knowledge and skills.
Okay, that's actually a really good point. Sima, what's your take on this?
First of all, you know, we need to change our languages, like mansplain, you know, this word mansplain. So this is affect everyone. Like, you know, for example, in Turkey, we have 2 words for woman, and woman is kadın, but the lady is bayan. You know, like most of men don't use woman as a word. They called us lady. I mean, they're even afraid of say woman. So we are very against about it. We say, no, lady, we are woman. So this is like, we try to change the languages, because languages is everything. So languages, if you have some things in your mind, languages make you say doing the wrong way. So that's why we try to train our community how we can change our words as a not supporting mansplain. Mansplain is really affect our life. And even high educated men I can see around me, they do that, but they pretend they are not. We first, I think we should change the words and the correct words, how they can speak with women, which kind of words they should use for their daily life. So, and another one, and I really also realized that if some women are success in any job, any industry, CEO, they should act like men. If they are act like women, they cannot be success. I mean, I saw in Turkey who is the CEO, and they are masculine women. Like, they should be, otherwise they can't fight. They can't fight with the man. So this is, we need to change. Like, no, I have a red lips and I high heels, and I can be weird skirt, and I can be success. I don't want to be as acting as a man. If they want, if they feel like that, that's okay. But I don't want to be I don't want to have to be like them. I want to be as a woman, and with all the makeup or whatever I want, and then success in my job. So this kind of things, and it's like maybe very basic things, but this is every day we saw it. We need to fight with it, and then that's why I always show the ladies. I mean, I say ladies, for example, women. So it's so hard to change women, to show them, like women, young women, to show them, no, I can be woman and I can be success. I don't have to be changed my physically, my emotionally. So I can be myself and also be success that I want. So this is, I try to show the young woman and how we can change the world.
I think, Sima, you brought a very interesting point, which I really wanted to touch, and then we can maybe close our session. Is about, obviously, as a woman, we have got a different kind of way to present ourselves. We are fashionista. We like to take care of our image much more than men, and that is something peculiar, and it's something that any woman has, or is kind of peculiar of you, the female sphere. And that is also something that we can use on our advantage, that we need to keep in order to be truly ourselves. And that is a very important point. So how do you think women can or should use the kind of attractiveness or being woman, the appeals, the image, the fashion, how should I use that in the working environment when you find you are in a space that maybe is not appreciated as it should?
Can you ask me again, because I missed some point of yours. I couldn't hear you very
okay
well.
No worry. So basically what I was trying to say that is us as human, we look after our image a lot. So we are fashionista, we take care of our appearance much more than what men do, and we kind of like to play with that as well, because this is a part of who we are. So how what are your thoughts about how women should use this aspect of their personality when they are going out there in a world that is mainly dominated by men, and where this aspect of women is maybe not taken in consideration as it should, or maybe it should. So what women should do to embrace this female peculiarity of who they are?
So actually, I don't want misunderstanding, because, for example, I like to live and take care of myself, but most of women doesn't want it, and some business are forced them to wearing like high heels and makeup or something. This is so hard, like to every day to be looks nice. For example, and the last previous session, they say one of the speakers say I want to physically activity. Sometimes I think, yeah, I like to wear nice thing, but these online things make me much more life easier, because all the high heels sometimes make me so hard to walk in all the day. So that's why I think shouldn't be like one perspective for women and also for men. So this is totally should be changed. All woman aspect or man aspect. And for example, I also want to share with you in mansplain about one of the huge words in Turkey. So men say always, woman biggest enemy are women. So this word we have in Turkey. They say women's enemies are women. This word first, I was also, when a couple days couple years ago, I was thinking like women always enemy each other. But no, this is man words. They don't want to be or be community and support each other, because woman enemy is not woman enemy can be everyone. So that's why we should change this aspect, and not just physically and also emotionally aspect we should change.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And then you also brought up something about one aspect of women, which is quite interesting, and is the fact that when men are less gossipy, let's say, less envious, let's say, there is some kind of rivalry within the women's space that we don't see in the men's space. And that is something that you every one of us can see. And maybe here, Martina, you can maybe come in, because in your organization, I'm sure that this is something that you can maybe bring some, maybe happen, maybe doesn't happen. So how do you see the women rivalry happening? And also what women should do about this aspect of, looking after themselves and using their female appeal, bringing their female appeal into work.
I'll start with the last part of the question regarding the physical appeal and everything. so many times I have encountered prejudice regarding me, because when men see a blonde, tall woman, they always like to think that she has nothing to say or do. But the most important thing you can do there is to discredit them with your knowledge, your attitude, and your results. And when your results talk for you, nothing you wear can diminish that. I personally like to take care of myself. I like to work out. I like to be healthy, both physically and mentally, because the thing we don't talk that much about is mental health. And especially during the last year when the pandemic has struck the world, that became an issue for many people, especially young women and ladies. And mental health should be aligned with physical health as well. And I encourage everyone to work on both of those aspects of health. When it comes to rivalry, I haven't encountered it, I haven't seen it in my company, but I have seen it many times in life. I personally am not someone that likes to take revenge or anything, but I have been several times backstabbed by women. I don't know the reason for that. I don't know why that occurred. I always presume that when people do some bad things to other people, they have to have something very bad that hurts them inside, and that's why they act like that. But in my company, in my organization, we honestly support each other very much. When there's a problem, we always can talk directly to our COO without any fear, without any aspects of potential problem or a negative reaction. And besides her, I have to say that I have the full support of my primary team members that are all women, and that never have I experienced anything bad, because when that situation occurs, when you start seeing your core team members as enemies or as people that are your opponents, no work will be done in a proper way, and there will be a serious lack of result. So when you approach that you are a result-driven company, that you are a people-driven company, and when you combine those two things, you can only generate pure success.
Okay. Martina, thanks. I think we just arrived at the end of the panel, so I'm going to hand over to Zoltan, and he's going to introduce the next panel. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can see I also have long hair, so I'm in the car right now because we came to a restaurant with the team to celebrate the International Women's Day. So I stepped out of the restaurant now because with this virtual conferences, you can have it anywhere in the world. But I can tell you something about this type of things, including the long hair. Especially when I left my hair out in traffic, I always get priority by other men. So it's something that you should use against men. It's a secret that I just found out. Okay, so thank you guys. This has been an awesome session. And Steffi, Martina, Sima, you have been awesome. And let's do this again sometime, not that during an International Women's Day, maybe sometime in April, May, so we can talk about more. Next, I would like to invite Vilja, the next moderator of the upcoming session. Vilja, are you here? Yes, I can see you.
Yes, I am. Hello.
Nice to see you. Okay, so I will leave you to start your session, and I will be here.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Sima. It was great to hear your insights. So hello, everybody. And first of all, happy International Women's Day. And it's great to see you all in the part 3 of the West End Inclusion event today. And my name is Vilja Butenana. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Insoftia. And it's a consultancy company, and it helps online businesses turn visitors into paying customers by improving customer shopping experience. And today I'm very, very happy to share the last part of this event. And today with the speakers from various backgrounds and different countries, And different expertise, I will be discussing diversity and inclusion and recent initiatives in the field, and also how it impacts the tech industry and the world. And most importantly, we will share insights how diversity and inclusion will change the technology sector and the world in the future. So the guests and speakers today are from different backgrounds and countries. So please meet Kamila Valatkaite. She's a Chief Operating Officer at Reaching 4.0, and she's also a member of Executive Committee and at We at Law LT company, and she's based in Lithuania. Also, please meet Lubomira Petrova. She's a Chief Marketing Officer at Ultraplay. She's based in Bulgaria. Also, please meet Lee Ann Johnstone. She's a CEO and a founder at Affiliate Insider. She's based in the United Kingdom. Also, please meet Ieva Kokevičienė. She's a CEO at Simplanova, based in Lithuania. And Lynn Monze. She is a gender in business specialist, also PhD in female entrepreneurship in the Middle East and North Africa. So what I'm going to do now, each of the speakers will speak and introduce their insights for about 5 minutes or so, and then I will ask questions to expand on the topic. At the end of the session, we'll be sharing our insights and ideas of the future of diversity and inclusion. So, Lubomira, as a marketing professional, you started your career in the gambling industry, and you have been working on innovative projects from an online platform or to projects using blockchain technology. So how do you see diversity and inclusion initiatives benefit your company and innovation process? Can you share an inspiring examples maybe?
Thank you so much for being here, first of all, and happy International Women's Day. It's an honor to be here to share my knowledge and being at this point of my career to actually support other women with my insights, with my thoughts about diversity and inclusion. Because in our industry, the gambling industry, I think these topics are particularly important. They are not so often heard. And thank you so much for the Hipsters initiative to do this topic. So basically, I started my career in the gambling industry 9 years ago, and my entire career up until now is in the gambling industry. I started as a public relations specialist in one of the leading land-based casino manufacturers in Bulgaria. And actually, I was quite lucky to be mentored there by a woman chief executive and also guided by a vice president who was also a woman. And I had this really nice approach into business from their perspective. But there is always a but, as I mentioned at the beginning, that in our industry, we see women leadership in the last few years is quite increasing, but the numbers are not so promising at the moment, to be honest. There's so much to be done, and of course, there are really nice initiatives in our industry, such as Global Gaming Woman or All in Diversity. They are regularly doing some meetups. I've also participated in few of them in person when our events were live. Also, they do some really nice initiatives in social media where I personally, as a marketer, think they are quite powerful and can have a really great impact in in our industry. But back to your question about how do I see innovation, and you are absolutely right. Thank you for bringing the question and doing the research about our company. We've been in blockchain since 2011, which is really for me exciting to be in such company, because innovation is always taken really like all of the leaders in our company take innovation as a priority, and we always try to find new ways or new products to deliver to the industry. So when we started offering, like integrating Bitcoin for payments in our industry, it was quite risky, absolutely new thing to be heard in the industry. And we were one of the few ones to offer this to our clients. Now we see many payment providers, one of them, most of them actually are going into particularly crypto processing and so on and so forth. So the process really has been enlarged to points that almost any sports book now has crypto as a payment options. So we've also done projects in the crypto space, like initial coin offering back in the years. So it's quite interesting, exciting to be part of this, to contribute as a professional, to do a project from scratch and see the progress and the results, but also a support, which is for me, and I think for every professional, really important to have it in the organization.
You mentioned some diversity and inclusion initiatives. So how do you think organizations can not only encourage those different perspectives and initiatives, but also maintain these differences and even strengthen diversity and inclusion? What would be your ideas?
This should be I think in each organization, recruiting or human resources practices within the company, first of all, because it starts from the within, it starts from the people working at the company. I agree with the previous panelists that everyone at the company should know each other. This is a challenge at the moment when there is an online recruitment process, onboarding, etc. But I believe that this is a challenge that can be solved, and it takes more efforts, let's say that way, but at the end, we find a way to communicate, even online, or to do some small meetups at the current situation. But I believe in general, people at the company should be supported no matter of their background, gender, etc. They should be supported in order to feel quite well at their working place, to be heard, to feel comfortable at what they're doing, so that they actually contribute better to the business, to the clients, and they feel better with their colleagues as well.
Okay, absolutely, it makes sense what you are saying, because it suggests that diversity and inclusion basically creates a greater sense of belonging for the employees. And also it's a greater sense of engagement and also satisfaction of work. Absolutely. So Yava, you are a passionate management professional with 15 years of experience in various IT companies, and your current role is managing Simplanova and also nurturing values of diversity and inclusion. So how have diversity and inclusion initiatives benefited your company, and what actions do you take to consistently improve diversity and inclusion in your company?
So thank you, Vilja, for inviting me today. As I mentioned, and as you mentioned, I'm 15 years in IT companies in Lithuania. I have experience, well, from 2005, I guess. So I think I saw quite a large changes when we talk about industry in Lithuania, especially IT industry, and how social responsibility and all the initiatives changed during these like more than 10 years. It's 15 years. So I see from my experience changes what concerns communication and how companies are coping with that. Because as I remember, 15 years ago, there was almost no communication and just attention to these things. And I am happy that where we are today in Lithuania, with a lot of initiatives, what concerns diversity and inclusion, large companies investing to communication, investing for initiatives in their companies, and also communicating on media about these things. And what concerns the company I'm working now, so I think that what concerns small companies, which I represent, it's information technology company, which is exporting services and software all over the world. Everything comes from the beginning of the company, and a lot of depends on values from which company just came off, values of shareholders, yes, when we are talking about small companies. And then all the values are spreading all around, because from our side, everything came just from our company. And then when we started to work on building initiatives more like from documentary side, or for example, we have, it's just value of equality is just in our origins, yes, but how it's at the moment, of course, we joined the diversity charter, yes, and all the initiatives. Also, how the example of how we work with diversity is that we joined Wings of Equal Opportunities. It's such kind of opportunity where almost all large companies are joining, and we as a small company also joined. And how it works in our company, I guess it's the most important thing is values and I think transparency in all what is connected with employees, starting from the beginning when you are dealing with internship, with coming new employees, and how you are just communicating with them about the values. And of course, it's developers, and we like girls very much, and really are very happy when girls are coming to our internship. On the other side, it's also important to have transparent career path, yes, transparent salary policy, and all these things. Then everyone knows that this is the same for each employee, no matter who you are. So I think that for the companies, no matter are you like, for example, small companies, it's also very important to communicate these things. And I think this way it works. Of course, like we're joining initiatives, there are just things which we have to do in the company to be as much as transparent, to have documentation prepared, policy of equality, yes. But when we are working on such kind of a policy, we just written everything what we are doing normally, but it was just on the written form, and we are just saying by signing these things that we are not having it as our value, but it's also like silent thing at our company. We are communicating, it's inside the company and also outside the company. Yes. So I think that these are main things which I would like to share from our side on what are we working on. And of course, in each step where we're making changes to our personal management, these policies and these values are the key ones, and then it's working.
Okay, absolutely. So you mentioned values, transparency, and communication at your organization. So somehow it leads my thoughts to the leadership role in the process. So for example, the London School of Economics and Political Science recently shared a research stating that when employees see people in leadership positions act in an inclusive way, and they may learn, to adopt these behaviors themselves, and thus enforcing a culture of inclusion. So also Forbes just recently noticed that the work at home trend has also changed the social structure and patterns of communication within teams, which could, reduce barriers to inclusion. So in your opinion, what is the role of companies' leadership in diversity and inclusion initiatives and further commitment?
I think that first of all is example, and everything what you are communicating by yourself, everything what are you doing, everything how you communicate with your team, it's the first thing. Because example, really you can write everything on the documents, but if you will not behave according them on every day, like, when you are communicating with, for example, women, which is in your team, and then you are getting feedback that you are only always treated according your expertise, but nothing else together. It's very important thing, because when you are behaving each day, when you are communicating each day. So this is example. And when you are, for example, woman, when you have a family, when you have children, when you are in the IT world, for example, when you are communicating outside the company, from our experience, most of our partners, decision makers are men. This is an example how it works. And I think that first of all, it's the example. And then you are talking about communication. So it should be the part of each day communication with your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense. So Leanne, you have been working in affiliate and digital marketing for 2 decades, and your expertise spans a number of sectors, including retail finance and iGaming, and mentoring startups, helping brands and operators, and also digital marketers grow their affiliate marketing programs. So how have diversity and inclusion initiatives changed recently? Are there any challenges you have noticed in the tech industry?
Not specifically in the tech industry, but first of all, I want to say this has been a fantastic conversation. I've actually been on since 9:30, and every single panel has been amazing. And it's just so refreshing to see young women coming together, having these conversations, because believe me, 2 decades ago when I started in online, these conversations weren't even heard of. So I'm thrilled that people are coming together, having conversations, learning with one another, because that is how we affect positive change. Now, I run a digital marketing agency and a media company, and I also have a training business. So I'm dealing with young women just like yourselves, and also young men, because we are talking about diversity and inclusion. It's not just about women, even though it is Women's Day today. But the biggest thing that I see from young people coming into the digital industry, which is kind of the space that I'm in, is confidence. And we touched on this with Martina and Selima in the previous panel. Just helping and supporting one another to learn how you need to grow your career, how you need to, do your job effectively. It's really strongly linked to leadership and management, and making sure that your leadership and management team have got the right training in place to support the people underneath them. Because if you think about how people progress their careers, they come into the workplace, they work for a number of years, they get pushed up the ladder because they've got more experience than the people underneath them, but they don't necessarily get management and people management experience or training on the job. They normally have to learn these skills whilst they're also learning their job and then managing more people underneath them. So I think a massive investment in training, coaching, people management skills, getting your senior management team to have better people management skills has been coming to the fore a lot more recently. The other thing I just want to say is, be kind to yourself. As women, we are stretched. I'm a mother. I run an international business. I've got a team all over the world. And I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but through the global pandemic, you found new ways of working with one another. You found new ways of integrating with your global teams, with your counterparts, with clients, if you're working with clients in other time zones. I've got an 8-year-old child. I was homeschooling him. He's just gone back to school this week. So I've had to run my business around the fact that in the mornings I have to teach my child school. And my team has had to accommodate to the fact that they can't contact me between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. every afternoon. It's like, how do you put those processes in place to keep everything ticking along whilst you're managing everything else? And the ladies on the previous, panel discussed this as well, in terms of the fact that there's a lot more pressure on women to be perfect at everything. And I think what we forget, and this is the point that I wanted to make, is that we need to be kind to ourselves. We need to realize that sometimes some things need to wait, or some things need to be deprioritized. And that is what inclusion and diversity is all about for me. It's about making sure that my team understand that we are a working business, but when there is things that need to be attended to, like going to your child's school recital, it's absolutely okay to take an hour off work and go do that, because the business isn't going to stop running. And I think that's the biggest thing that this pandemic has taught me as a business owner, and also as a manager, as a people manager, is that your business, if you're working in digital, can work around you. And taking that time to actually be kind to yourself and to do the things that your family might need, or that you might need, even if it's personal time for you if you don't have family, having that headspace to do that and being kind to yourself and knowing that it's okay is incredibly important. And I think if you start there by being kind with yourself, you automatically start including and being cognizant of how other people are in the workplace. And being accepted that other people are different to you, that they've got different lifestyles, different priorities. And that to me is what inclusion is all about. It's about being open and honest with your peers, being transparent, and making sure that everybody is supported in the way that they need, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, educationally, whatever it is, and just being kind.
Mm-hmm. So it seems that the global pandemic, so it accelerated some diversity and inclusion initiatives and pushed that forward in many organizations. So what are the key drivers encouraging organizations to make their intentions and commitment work? What do you think?
I think it's about being human. I think people have woken up and started understanding that just, business doesn't have to run 9 to 5. Teams don't have to work, scheduled hours, clocking in and clocking out. People can do things with the technology and the systems and processes that we have to communicate across the globe. We can do things at a different pace, possibly even faster, because communication has now been improved in things like this, where we can live stream to a bigger audience on another channel, but also have a really nice, close-knit conversation on Zoom. I think just the whole human aspect of understanding that life goes on even during a pandemic, and business will continue if people pull together. So some of the initiatives that I've seen, which Lubomira touched on here in our industry, there was an open doors campaign that was run on social media, which was incredibly important because it allowed people in a senior space to actually, append a badge onto their LinkedIn profile that said, hey, if you're entering the industry, come and talk to me. If you find me at an event, come and talk to me. And I participated in that campaign and literally got mobbed at one of our big events, which is IGB affiliate in London, there were streams of young girls that were coming to find me and ask me how did you build your career? What advice can you give me? And that is the human initiative that I'm talking about. Understanding that when you do progress your career and when you do get into more senior roles, you need to hold the door open for other people around you to also experience and to learn from your knowledge. Because in my industry, in the affiliate space, there is no school of affiliate marketing. You don't go and learn affiliate marketing at university. It's one small sliver of a digital marketing degree. So 20 years of experience of affiliate marketing is like, it's unheard of. I basically got in right at the beginning. So I'm very open to, young people coming into the industry, because as in gaming, the affiliate marketing industry is very male dominated still. It's very few females at the top. And, I'm very approachable at these events because I want young people to build careers in this industry, because I've had a fantastic career in this industry and I know how rewarding it can be. If you come into the affiliate space, you can actually move straight up to CMO levels. So there's nothing stopping you to actually progress your career all the way up to the board. But having that experience and having somebody who's been there, done that, is very rare to find. So those types of social media initiatives that All in Diversity is doing, I think, are incredibly important, and more companies should contribute and invite their senior team members to actually participate in those events.
It's really nice that you've mentioned that community aspect, inviting more members to join those initiatives and take part in that. Camilla, you have recently joined Reaching for Zero, a company that is on a mission to connect sustainability seekers to providers. And you are also involved in the platform We at Law LT for female lawyers, and are responsible for community meetups and discussions. A recent insight by the London School of Economics and Political Science suggested an idea that there are two areas that have been recently prolonged interest within organizations, and those two are innovation and diversity and inclusion. So both platforms that you are working on seem to be addressing these most pressing issues, so increasing diversity and representation, and contributing to increasing sustainability. So do you see a relationship between innovation and diversity and inclusion? And from your experience, can each produce benefits in the other?
In addition to that, happy International Women's Day for all the incredible ladies that are joining today. I'm super happy to be here along you. And in addition to all these two roles, I very recently joined Vinted, which is the first Lithuanian unicorn, which been invented by a lady called Milda. And it's a platform for the secondhand clothes. So in general, this business very sustainable. So starting from that point, it is very important to have like additional strategy and how you run the business later on. And one of the part, it is environmental part and to be globally very supportive. And another part is diversity and inclusion. So to have that creative ideas and to be, to challenge the product, that it would be better and better for every single user, it is important, not like from gender perspective, but also geographically and culturally, to have lots of different people within your teams. And that brings, in addition, advantage as a to be competitive within the market, and people like me would be happy to join this kind of company. So, and is one part. Another thing is that you're setting certain goals and to be transparent. And not even Vinted, but other companies like Schneider Electronics, they've been setting that for the diversity, they're planning to have 50% hires to be women, and 40% that to be at the front line, and 30% in the leadership. And this brings to another part what I would like to say, that it is very important for us ladies to be supportive, and that even there will be those positions that all the ladies would be prepared for that. And so to be supportive, and that is why for quite long I am a member of Women at Loyalty, which is a platform to gathering all the lawyers, ladies, professionals, and we make lots of different events and conferences where we give the stage for the ladies to speak up about the topics that they really like and what is important for them, and just to show that there is both, not only men but women as well, that can speak up and show the knowledge. So the same is like looking from the innovations, and especially in the IT sector. I'm consulting and working together with Women Go Tech mentorship program, which is very successful in Lithuania and Scandinavia. There is still, especially in Lithuania, there is a huge gap for in IT sector for the specialists, and then there is that diversity percentage is still quite high. So this program is actually working to decrease that. And even when I'm speaking with those ladies, I always try to say that in this area, there are many different roles, and it's not only that you need to code and to be IT specialist or architect, but there is lots of different roles that you can pursue your career and to be actually successful. So yes.
Do you see trends changing in terms of more women-led organizations around the world? Because you've just mentioned Milda, who started a very successful startup in Lithuania, which is a unicorn right now. And do you see trends changing?
A lot, actually, a lot. And I'm working with quite few startups. One of them is just recently started, one of my best friends. And when we're going to certain presentations, they see that more and more ladies coming to these roles, and we are getting lots of support. And from the investors, if they see straight away that the teams are not diverse, it's for them even like more of the risks factor. And it's a big advantage, and especially when the certain startups are run by ladies. So I'm really happy about that. And another thing is that it's when we're looking, is all around the world, this trend is happening. Very recently, I've been visiting Dubai, and I was asking these questions, and the very interesting fact what they said, like it's these organizations that support ladies, they are like the new mafia, supporting each other, and trying to make a change. And I think it's important, and it's for the better tomorrow. So I'm happy always to hear that.
Okay, and Lynn, you specialize in female entrepreneurship and empowerment, and your research is focused on how women in the Middle East and North Africa can overcome the lack of support and obtain access to the tools to build businesses and social enterprises and become more independent, as well as the socio-economic, cultural, and political conditions that are needed to foster female entrepreneurship. Could you share your insights on these gender-specific challenges in economic development, and what are potential drivers for change?
Thank you so much, and happy International Women's Day. I'm gonna share a lot of percentages and data, so bear with me. This is part of my research. The current situation for working women and women entrepreneurs in the Middle East and North Africa region is improving, let's put it this way. And we're notably seeing an increase in number of women entrepreneurs. So you'll see 1 in 3 startups in the region by women. Technically, this is higher than in the Silicon Valley. The number of female entrepreneurs is also expected to grow, and they're increasingly leveraging the internet and other digital tools. So working women also in the region are breaking through the existing rigid gender norms. especially taking advantage of digital transformation driven by the pandemic mostly, where they can work remotely nowadays. This said, the overall situation for women economic participation in the region is significantly worse than anywhere in the world. I'm sorry to say that. So according to the WEF Gender Gap Index, the MENA region has the lowest score of any region in the gender gap. This is because historically systematic discrimination against women constrain their full and equal participation in the economy. Women face the social pressure to work, to have a work-life balance. They lack access to finance, they lack access to proper network and even technologies. So you'll see in a region, female unemployment is 3 times higher than it is globally. That is, twice as many women are unemployed than men in the region. They also, I think we've mentioned that they take care of the unpaid care work, and the pay gap is between 20 and 40% in the region, depends on the country. So, even female entrepreneurship is the lowest around the world. It's only 9% in the Middle East and North Africa, and there's 21 countries in the Middle East and North Africa. So the region has very restrictive laws that hinders women's success. Female entrepreneurs in the region, they face a lot of legal, financial, cultural, and knowledge barriers. They tend to have difficult getting loans from traditional institutes, financial institutes and banks because of the discriminatory inheritance law. They face institutional barriers, negative culture attitudes towards women's role, and these barriers also exist with entrepreneurs at every stage. They limit their equal opportunity in creating business or access to finance. Recently, the pandemic has been very tough on women workers on entrepreneurship, not just in the region, around the world. For one thing, the pandemic has worsened some of the restrictive laws and highlighted how discriminatory legal framework continue to deny women equal access to economic participation and opportunities. So we've recently heard a lot of policy changes in the region, despite these countless policy reform that's been happening for the past 10 years. Women in the region still face a lot of numerous social and cultural barriers. They limit their economic and business opportunities, which deteriorate the region more and more. It's clear that all the MENA countries would benefit from increase in women economic activity. So the region now, just let me put it this way, we lose $575 billion per year due to the existing gender-based discrimination law. So women make half of the population. They only contribute to 18% of the GDP. It's well documented that women contribute to the growth of the country economy or even the national economies. Let me give you this example. When women get paid, they invest 90% of their earnings back into their families. The men only invest 35% of them. So increasing women economic participation and labor force participation and entrepreneurship to the level of men, we can boost the GDP by 47%. Because of this, when women participate in the economy, the labor force and the health and the education of the market, of the children, of the countries improve.
So we can see that there are so many barriers, and it seems that it might take some time and even efforts from even community, not necessarily from the top leaders of the country. You might bring those combined forces to make those changes. And this leads to my other question to you, because I've read that in your Harvard Business Review, which suggests that when goals are made public and they provide an accountability mechanism that makes us more likely to achieve our aims, right? So what should organizations or sometimes regions, as you've just mentioned, do in order to make the intentions and commitment to diversity and inclusion work? And would disclosure of that diversity and inclusion goals publicly help?
I'm gonna focus on organization because in the region we're still far behind on diversity and inclusion. Yeah. I currently live in the States, and whenever I travel, I can see the huge gap that there is in order to reach that. So let's focus on organization right now. Okay. I would say there's, the region is so complicated. It needs more acceptance and, as you said, cultural change. So as per organization, there is no one single solution for every organization. Every organization is unique and needs to adjust its diversity and inclusion accordingly. There is certain structure that they can follow. First, which is very important, they need to collect data to understand the biases. You can't improve what you can't measure. Data will present the board and the management with factual condition within the organization. This will help them, like, for example, to set measurable goals and hold people responsible for improving diversity within the organization. Second, the organization should make sure that the technology they're using, it's not biased. I don't know if you've heard, I think you all heard about what happened in Amazon in, I think, 2018, where their new recruiting engine didn't like women. So the Amazon system decided that male candidates were more preferable for the job. This is one problem that created a lot of discrimination within the recruitment within Amazon. Third, company must increase the representation of particular groups. So when individuals belong to groups that are underrepresented in organizational contexts, such as whether racial minorities or women, they may be subject to stereotype-based evaluations. So if diversity is about getting underrepresented people on the floor, inclusion is getting them sitting equally on the table. Finally, everyone within the organization should be included. That is, if we include from top management to top bottom employees, we increase the buy-in rate. We already mentioned that if the leaders take on the initiative, accept the importance of having a diversified workforce, employees and everyone will follow. On the regarding the other part of the question, the diversity and inclusion reports are very good for the business. According to McKinsey, gender diversity in executive team is strongly correlated to profitability and value creation. In Fortune 500 list, they just announced that in their October 2021, they will include self-reported diversity and inclusion data by companies, and they can sort them out accordingly. So without the report, you cannot even be on the list right now. The topic of setting diversity and inclusion target it's more relevant now than any time before because of the pandemic, which is leaving a lot of women out of work, which impact the talent pool and gender distribution within organizations. It seems like common sense now for companies to have the reports. It's more, we talked about this, it should increase transparency and among the workforce.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it moves the conversation and makes action more doable.
Mm-hmm. So we talked a lot about diversity and inclusion in terms of values presented within the organization, transparency, and communication, that we need to communicate properly those ideas and values to our employees and to the community also, and also the leadership's role, because the leaders show the way to employees of what those values mean and why we are doing that. Also, that the training is needed, absolutely, in terms of developing and strengthening diversity and inclusion initiatives. And and also many of challenges that are still there in the regions and companies, and how important is sharing the data and trying to improve it and trying to include those underrepresented employees and giving them better tools and better workplaces to contribute to the value within the organization. So that leads to the final question for all of you guys. So can you share your insights about how diversity and inclusion will change the technology sector and the workplace and the world in the future? And how do you envision the progress of diversity and inclusion? Maybe Leanne, you could start.
Sure. So from my perspective and in my world, and it might be different to everybody else's, it's this whole experience for the last 18 months that we've been going through this pandemic. It has made me realize that if you open yourself up to working within a diverse and inclusive environment, you can actually get a lot more done, because your people are happier because they're not, mentally, they're not being stretched in too many different directions. They know that they have a supportive workspace where they can, be who they are, whoever that is, male, female, transgender, whatever it is. They feel supported in their work, so therefore they are more productive. They have flexibility, so they can work around their families, around their, personal needs. If they've got, sick parents or anything that's going on in their personal life, they feel valued because, work doesn't take over. Their mental health is in a better space because, they're comfortable where they're working and they're being supported in a way that, fits in with their lifestyle. So I think that as businesses move forward and as they change their ideology around, the 9 to 5 and how that doesn't actually fit around lifestyles and around people's personal requirements, I think the working from home is going to continue, which I love. I mean, I love working from, I'm in the office today, but, if I've got people that want to work from home after we come out of lockdown here in the UK, I'm quite happy with that. People, they feel more comfortable working in their own home environment. They can come together when they want to because there is a space that is available for us to meet. I think it's going to change the dynamics of how businesses are run. And by opening yourself up to be more diverse and more inclusive in your business, your people are going to be happier.
Lubomira, what are your ideas on this topic?
I think technology is key for the situation we are right now, because we cannot imagine to survive this without technology. It's been a great shift from offline to online in every aspect of our life. And from our personal experience, of course, at the company level, at Ultraplay, we help many companies go through this business crisis, to have some product to offer to their clients, such as esports in the betting world when sports were canceled, and many other challenges that happened to the industry in general. Because of our technology, because of our product that is comprehensive and is actually an alternative to many online operators worldwide, except that I hope, or my hopes are actually that the organizations that have strong voice in our industry can support many initiatives in diversity and inclusion, as it is now, this initiative, or many others, because as Leanne said, it wasn't like that years ago, but it's not the best situation at the moment as well. We need to see many organizations in the industry supporting such initiatives. And also this change could happen, I believe, in my personal opinion, of course, it should start from the top to the bottom, but of course with the support and with the desire from all employees that can actually support each other, see this importance, see the impact of such initiatives within the organization and outside, because I also believe in better performance of organization, as Lynn Mointer just announced the stats, the data behind it, that organization with such D&I initiatives perform better, have better results business-wise as well.
Okay. Camilla, would you like to share your insights and ideas?
Yes, I totally agree that it's coming from the roots and from the values that you live and you being accepted, and for the company you work, and that gives you additional motivation for your daily waking up in the morning and even to going around your flat, because you're not moving out of it because of pandemic. And some days it is really becomes complicated and difficult to find that motivation. So when you've got that right environment for yourself, then it's really, really helps. In addition to that, I think the change, what is happening already, it's from the leadership perspective, that teams become more like an organism ecosystem, that they don't need certain leader that they give them what to do, but the certain teams within this diverse and in inclusion and everything all together, they start to run themselves. So, I think it's important you feel more valued, that you contribute to the ideas, and that not somebody tells you what to do, but you just have more freedom. And it's again within your values. So at least for me, it's important, and and I think it's the right road and the direction.
Yeah, well, could you please share your insights?
From my own experience, I see that there will be much more flexibility in each organization when we talk about everyday work, when we talk about diversity. Just to be successful, every company will have to be as much flexible as possible. And also another topic is transparency inside the organization and outside, which helps really just to communicate values and what is important. What concerns information technology companies, I guess, we have a lot of initiatives when we talk about getting more women to the sector. What I see next, I would like to have more women in the top management positions in this area, as until now, I think there is quite not enough women here, and it could bring just more empathy and more diversity into this industry. So I think that this is the next step to work on. As I remember 10 years ago, we talked about girls on startups, and we had, for example, this one accelerator, just a program for girls. And when I came and saw teams of the startups, and most of them just was guys who were working on the startups. And today we have huge changes on the startup market, and I would like, of course, more changes in the future what concerns technology sector and top management.
Thank you, Yava. Lynn, could you please add your ideas?
I'll combine all of your ideas, because that's exactly what I'm going through. But let's talk, like, as Diva mentioned, it's transparency and accountability. Now, any organization cannot get away with diversity and inclusion just swiping it off, swipe, because the new generation, Generation Z, is going to hold them accountable. They are conscious of what's going on, and they want a diversified workplace. Now, a lot of reports are there about which organization is more diverse than the other. which one is more inclusive, which one is have work-life balance, which one is healthy organization to be around. We cannot run from that. You have to be diverse. You have to include everyone, whether it's women, whether it depends, depends on the region where you're and what you're tackling. So I see the future without diversity and inclusion cannot exist, and no organization can survive without it. Everyone will be held accountable to present the demographic community they're in properly within their organization.
Thank you so much. These are really nice ideas, and Lynn has just summarized it really, really well and nicely. And you know, after our session today, it seems that strengthening diversity and inclusion in organizations and even regions is inevitable. And the pandemic even accelerated all those processes and the progress. So, and we will keep seeing that even improving and strengthening these initiatives because it's inevitable. So there is so much potential there. We can see it, and business leaders and their teams can make decisions today to capitalize on that potential and to create a greater sense of belonging and greater sense of engagement and satisfaction in the industry and the regions for all people, all communities. So thank you all the speakers and your ideas and insights. It was lovely to have you here today. And thank you all who joined us today. Have a great day.
Thank
Zoltan,
you,
you are here also. Thank you.
Yeah,
would you like to add?
Bye.
Yes. Yes. Firstly, let's just have a virtual applause for everyone because this has been really, really awesome. Thank you, ladies. I would like to add maybe to the personal part. I think Martina mentioned earlier that the most important part is taking care of yourself and your mental health, most essentially, since everybody I know, since most countries are in lockdown, you can just start by going out and taking a 10 or 15 minutes walk. It's just as simple as that, just clearing your head, and you can go back to conquering the world, because we all have this power in us. Like, we pulled this meetup together in just 1 week. Thank you, Vilia, by the way. She was the one who suggested that we have this meetup, and we quickly sent out the emails to all the connections we have, and that's how we got this snowball rolling to having so many speakers today that we had to even extend the time. So diversity in the workplace is something that is already is happening. So I don't think it's going to be stopped by since many young CEOs are appearing every day with new mentality. For instance, in our office, we've been active for 6 years. We never had a fixed hour for working. We start work at 9:30 in the morning, whenever you want to come, stay till 4 o'clock. We have lunch included and everything. Even yesterday when I was running, some guy noticed that this fist bump that has been going on now recently for saying hello is a blessing for women. He said that up until now, when we got together and guys were shaking hands, nobody shook the hand of a woman. So now with this fist bump, everybody's doing it. So yeah, it's funny. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah. It was an interesting day, and let's keep this momentum going. So guys, if you ever have any ideas of hosting any initiative, you are more than welcome to contact us. We have a large platform. We have many visitors. Today we had over 8,000 viewers already on the video. So I think it's going to move on to even a bigger number. So that's it. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you so much again. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Sultan, for organizing.
Thank you.
Hey, every time.
Thank you.